Kane here, and bringing you a video on my second channel to teach you how I created this little green lantern punching effect. And the main thing I want you to walk off learning from this video is about these particles here. You can see that how swirly they are, and it may be a little hard to believe, but I made this. I did not use any third-party plugin for these particles. I just used the CC Particle World plugin and the Liquify plugin, and they both come with After Effects. And I'm going to teach you how I did that. So, let's get this at a full resolution, take it to third, because this will be completely slow, and this video will be like 30 minutes if I have it on full. So, anyway. So, here's the base footage. You can see me, I'm just acting out. Big old green lantern punch thing. And after that, I added my particle system here. I'm just going to shut off all the plugins that it goes through after CC Particle World, so we can just focus on what I did first here. First step in this was to animate the birth rate. Animate the birth rate. Start out at 0, then start animating it to have more, even more, and then die down to 0 again. Yeah, and then I animated the producer to keep up with the position of my fist with the ring on it, or basically, actually, not my fist, but mainly the ring. So, just had to hand animate this on the X and Y axis. Well, not axis, but X and Y. Whatever. So yeah. And we'll just go down here to physics so I can explain a little bit about this. There's 50 resistance, and it's got an inherent velocity of 406. And the main thing, the gravity is set to 0. So I just didn't want it like fall. I didn't want these particles falling. I didn't want them rising either. I just wanted them to stay basically put. Without talking about the velocity or anything, I just wanted them to stay put where they originally started. So yeah. And the particle type was a tetrahedron right here. Rotation speed was 654, and I wanted them to start out bigger than they ended up. They start out big and they end up small. Starts 0.63, this size 0.01, and the size variation is set to 100. So there's going to be a lot of like different shaped particles, and each one is very unique. And since this is a Green Lantern video, it starts out bright green, ends up dark green, or darker green. So yeah. Then it goes to a fast blur plugin. Just blurs out nicely. Because without the fast blur plugin, they all look just really sharp. A little too sharp actually, so we just needed to blur it up, which was 3. And then finally it goes through the Liquify plugin. And this is the main player besides CC Particle World in this effect. Because as you can see here, it's getting all swirly, and it's interacting. The particles are interacting with each other the way that I want them to. Using Liquify plugin with your CC Particle World can help you out with having your particles interact with each other a little bit differently than they originally do standalone with the CC Particle World. So, see here, it's getting all swirly. The Liquify plugin is keyframed. As you can see here, it starts out not really swirly, and the main reason it's keyframed, like the swirl tool, when you do it onto your mesh or layer, it becomes a mesh. It becomes a mesh once you add the Liquify plugin. But once you edit that mesh, the swirl tool that you use, it only edits one place on the mesh, so it's also keyframed so that the swirl modifications in the video move along with the particles. Because if I didn't keyframe it, it would just be swirled in like one place. So yeah. So as you can see here, it's getting all swirly, having different values of swirliness all throughout the thing. So yeah. And that's just really cool. If you want really swirly particles, that's how you can do it without having to buy like Trapcode Particular or something like that. Don't got that kind of cash. So then after that was the Roughen Edges modifier, which just makes it really sandy, given the settings that I put in, which was all these. You probably shouldn't copy my exact settings. I mean, you should experiment at least. Just saying. Then finally goes to a glow, and got the colors of the glow right here: light green, dark green. So yeah, made it, you know, kind of resisted and big, however. So that's the particle system. That's the main thing that this video is about, because that's the most interesting part of this effect, is the particles. But moving on, I'm just going to turn off the particles so we can focus on this fist that I made here. See, there it is. Okay. So yeah, the fist, let me turn off this motion blur. So there you can see a little bit better. And just turn off all the effects for the fist for a second. And that's what it looked like before. So it first goes through a liquify plugin, just like the particle system did. It was animated with the position of my fist, ring, or whatever. Goes through a liquify plugin right here. You see it starts out all blobby and it's keyframed. The liquify plugin starts out blobby, end up in a different kind of blobby, and then just go to normal. See here. Yeah. And then it goes through some color correction to make this green, because it wouldn't be a green lantern construct if it wasn't green. It goes to a Roughen Edges plugin, which roughens the edges, of course. But it's kind of the edges that are roughened are kind of blurrier. They're not as sharp as they were with the particles. Let's see. After that, it goes through a glow plugin, and that is it for the fist. After that was the rotoscoping, which was super duper hard, super duper difficult, and just annoying. But one weird little problem that I kind of faced with this is, you can see with this arm, I had some trouble with the arm and what was going to be in front of it and what was not, because you can see here that my body, which was in front of it, and my arm, which was behind it, it's connected, and you just have to guesstimate a line, basically, where you want it to not be in front and where you do want it to be in front. just make this kind of curved line to go along with your arm. Let's see here. Because particles, they just go in every which direction. They can be in front of them or not. It's a little bit difficult. It's just one of the problems I face with the rotoscope. Besides the stress of rotoscope. Because rotoscoping is stressful. But after that, there is the light that emits on my face and my back and my chest. You can see here, that's just duplicating the base layer and making masks. Making masks on my back and making masks on my face, right there, and making masks on my chest. After color correcting it, making it brighter, like that. So yeah. And that was that. So yeah. And of course, nothing would be cliche without a little bit of lens flare. Am I right? I think I am. So here you see the lens flare. If you want to do a lens flare, using only the After Effects lens flare plugin, there's a few things you can do to make it not as crappy as it starts out, because it does start out crappy. They always start out crappy, like this. That's crappy. That couldn't match up with anything unless we give it a little bit of color correction and the fast blur. The fast blur is something you should add to your After Effects lens flare plugin, because it just makes everything much better than it starts out. Because when it starts out, all those edges are really just sharp, and the fast blur can fix that problem. And one thing you can do, you don't always have to do it just horizontal and vertical. You can just do it horizontal, like that, or vertical. That provides a really cool effect here. So yeah, one thing you can do to make your After Effects plugin lens flares better. And here you can see the whole thing all together. So, hope you learned something about lens flares or particles. If you don't mind, check out my channel. Not this channel, not the 7th DP Extra channel, but the 7th DP channel. YouTube.com/70HDP. I got some really cool effects videos on there. And maybe you could check out this channel, because I'm gonna put a lot more stuff on it, like this, and maybe some behind the scenes stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I'm Case Kane. I hope you enjoyed this and maybe learned something, and I'm out.